Hey, I'm back. Did you miss me? Gee, thank you. So yeah, third game review. I guess you could think this is a constant now, along with the SA2 parodies. So New Super Lucky's Tale was a remaster of an Xbox One game called Super Lucky's Tale, which is a sequel to a VR game called Lucky's Tale. They also made a plush of Lucky, and he's super fucking adorable, and he's my son now, and if you hurt him, you will see the gates of hell swallow you open. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. Anyways, let's get started. But before we start with the actual game, let's see why all this is happening.
It started with the destruction of our home.
What? Yeah, so despite how wholesome and adorable this game is, we start with something kind of dark. But to be fair, 90s 3D platformers had things like scientists going mad and planning to destroy the world with a space lab because of the government killing everyone he loves, a water god destroying New York City, and dragon baby genocide, so I'm fine with it. Basically what happened is that the Guardians, a team that guards the worlds in this here book, running from a former member of their group, named Jinx and his children, the Kitty Litter. Yes, that is her name. So there's Macho Man Randy Savage, woo! A literal bookworm, and Lyra Swifttail, Lucky's big sister. So basically, Jinx, the Kitty Litter, and Lucky get sucked up into the book, starting our adventure, or tale, if you want to call it. Anyways, we start in Sky Castle, a very decent starting world. There's a level where you find these stone golems, and you have to bring their heads back to their bodies, run 3 times, and you get a page. This game's main collectible. Then in the next, it's your basic 2D platformer level. This game has at least 1 or 2 in each world. You don't have to do them if you don't want to. You can skip them if you have enough pages to fight the boss. Next up, we have to carry the head of a golem to the end of the level. Nothing really else to say. And Dungeon Run is our first Sonic and the Secret Rings type level. Also, I'm not reviewing that game. You can't make me! So anyways, by that I mean you have no control on Lucky's movement. All you can do is jump and dig. So really, it's more of a temple run, but without the endless part. So, finally, we get to our first boss. It's Master Mittens, a member of the aforementioned Kitty Litter. He throws fireballs, lasers, and enemies at you until you beat him to submission. This is probably my second favorite world. It's basically mostly farm-based, but it does get creative with it. We start off with another side-scrolling level. You jump on tire tractors, avoid excavator shovels, and run on conveyor belts as you try to reach the end. In Neck Roll, you have to traverse a barn and stop an overgrown chicken that is this big because of the world's antagonist, Tess. Again, another part of the Kitty Litter. Think of it as fighting one Koopa kid in each world before fighting Bowser and Mario. In Ripe Rollers, it's another 2D platformer with these water wheel things. I can't remember what they're called. Spiky balls, fruits, and water. Nothing really else to say, sorry. The Harvest Festival is probably my favorite level. You basically help members of a band who got lost or something, and get them back to the stage in time. They even sing at the end, and we see Lucky dance to it, and he's so fucking adorable. I want to adopt him as my son, I swear. Pungent Pass is a maze of sorts, not the last we'll see. You basically have to find 6 trapped little bunnies and overthrow the Garlic King. No, I'm not making this shit up. Now for the boss. We fight Tess, who's in a giant tractor with spider legs. You have to flip switches to activate these doohickeys to destroy the tractor thing and send Tess blasting off again, Team Rocket style. So here we are, the third world. We get introduced to our Kitty Litter members of the day. And yes, I mean members, because actually we have 2. The only time this actually happens in the game. General buttons and fluff and stuff. Wrestful Retreat is a canon with wrestling-inspired elements. I'll be honest here, I never really cared for wrestling, so this is probably the least interesting world, at least for me. Ladder Match of the Mind is another 2D platformer. But instead of going horizontally, you go vertically. You hit switches to reveal platforms, There's also spinning platforms. It's fun. Melon Madness is honestly kind of creative. And instead of being in the canyon, you have to walk on watermelons and dig inside them to avoid blender blades. Peaceful Place is quite the opposite of what the name describes. It's set above lava, and you have to traverse this simple area. Crawl, Walk, Run is another autorunner. You have to dig underground at certain spots to avoid dying. That's pretty much it. Eightfold Path is a level that takes place in the canyon. There's a bunch of folding paths and shit, not really much else to say. The boss has fluff and stuff try to squash you. I swear I will hunt you down and strangle with your own organs. Then they shoot some bombs that you have to deflect back at them with your tail. Repeat 2 other times and the boss is over. And here's probably my favorite world. It's all beach themed. Kinda reminds you of SpongeBob. Alright, so securing the talent has us destroying speakers that our kitty litter member set up to play our awful music. Lady Marmalade, which... yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Trapped in Paradise is another maze level. You have to set up a bunch of umbrellas to earn yourself a page. 3 Cannon Salute marks the return of buttons and fluff and stuff. They shoot cannonballs out of their ship and try to kill you. I am going to squeeze the jelly from your eyes and put on my toast. And it's just another 2D side-scroller. Nothing really much else to say. And we make it to the next boss, Lady Marmalade. Now, she spins on a disco ball rigged with lasers, and you have to spin it with your tail around 3 times a phase. The floor is also out to kill you, so yeah, that's fun. Strangely enough, she's the only one, besides the final boss, to have her own theme. I guess the developers liked her too much. I can see why. And here's the final world. Kinda. It's all ghost themed, and honestly, I kinda like it. This is the only world where you have to do the levels the order the game tells you to. Carnival Court is a level that takes place in a carnival. No shit. You need to get enough tickets to get the page. And to get the tickets, you need to play carnival games. They're kind of fun. They work well with Lucky's controls. Next up is Terror Train, and if you know me, you know that I love levels that take place on moving vehicles, i.e. airships, trains, etc. And this level does not disappoint. It's pretty good. Grave Awakening is another 3D platformer. The gimmicks here are lanterns that you have to pick up and use to show a hidden path. Judge and Crawl is our last autorunner. That's really all to say. Now we fight Jinx. He uses Lucky to give him the book by impersonating his sister, Lara. And now that he has the book, he's unstoppable. Until you bop him on the head a bunch of times. But trust me, it can get difficult. Once Lucky defeats Jinx, him and the kitty litter get sent to jail and Lucky finds his way back home, finishing New Super Lucky's tale. Or if... And here's the post-game content. Now, I won't go over each level because there's like 16 that would take forever. However, I will split it up into 3 sections. Platforming challenges, combat challenges, and ball rolling challenges. Basically, Lucky is going through the trials to be a guardian. Platforming challenges test your skills. This one's for digging, jumping, etc. Combat challenges have stuff like refights with 2 of the kitty litter members, and that one minigame from the SpongeBob movie game. The ball rolling ones suck. I don't like them, that's all. So the music isn't too much to write home about. It's mostly environmental. The composers, Aaron Brown and Roman Gauthier? Please tell me if I said that right. Take full advantage of the level's atmosphere. Both levels are more bright and happy, having more bright and happy music, while the darker levels have more darker music. That being said, I don't really remember much from it. I can only remember a few, like Heavy Heads, Eightfold Path, and the main theme, which sounds too much like Gusty Garden Galaxy from Mario Galaxy to really stand out in my brain. So the gameplay is your standard 90s 3D platformer with some 2D sprinkled in. It's a collectathon a la Mario 64 or SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. You need to collect pages to unlock the boss gate, then defeat the boss, then move on to the next world. There's multiple kinds of ways to earn pages. Simply reach the end, collect all letters in the word Lucky, find a hidden page by either completing a secondary task or finding it hidden away. And then there's just collecting 300 coins, which sounds like a lot, but trust me, coins aren't in abundance. I think it would be much more challenging if the 300 coins were all that was in the level. Hopefully in the sequel they change that. For controls, they work pretty well. Lucky moves a bit slower than wanted, but still. He also has a dig move that if you do on hard ground, he slides. The digging apparently came about after the dev team watched a video of a fox jumping into snow. So usually I talk about cut content before any review, but I can only find a crouching animation, so yeah, that's about it. The game ends with sequel bait showing Lucky and Lyra's older brother, Lucas, freeing Jinx and the Killer out of jail. A sequel hasn't been confirmed yet, but hopefully it does happen. And if it does, give Lyra a giant ass and balloon-sized tit! Yeah, so that'll be all for me. If you want to, you can like and subscribe. Be the submissive pawns you are and do what you were put on this planet for. Feed my ego. And I also have a Twitter at bingus__4, Tumblr at bingus_goblin, Twitch at bingus69for2000, where I stream every Thursday night at 7 p.m. CST, and a new Discord server. The link will be in the description. So yeah, that'll be it. Now if you excuse me, I got a nice review to make.